Hey YouTube, this is Jaden from Team Shadow Strike coming at you, and this is a continuation video of my very first Random Rant segment video that I ever made. It was about It was about Power Rangers, and I said if I got 5 thumbs ups on that video, then I would make a video about each series of Power Rangers. And so anyway, this is the very first segment. And it might end up being 2 parts if I think the first one starts to drag. So it might be in 2 different parts. So if it is, if you please watch both parts if you're interested. But anyway, let's get into the first segment here, I guess. Okay, Power Rangers very first aired on U.S. television in 1993. That's when Mighty Morphin Power Rangers started. It aired from 1993 to 1995, and as you know, Power Rangers was a series that was based out of Japan. So, anyway, just kind of briefly, I'm going to go over who we know who was a Power Ranger. You had your original 5 Rangers, and the original 5 were portrayed by Austin St. John, who was Jason. You had Walter Jones, which was Zach. Jason was the Red Ranger, Zach was the Black Ranger. David Yost, who was Billy the Blue Ranger. You have, I don't know how to pronounce this girl's name, so sorry if I mess it up, Toy Trang. I'm terrible with Asian pronunciation, so I apologize. Toy Trang, Trini, and then you had Amy Jo Johnson, which was Kimberly. Also, Trini, Mrs. Trang, she unfortunately is the only one of these original 5 that is no longer with us. She died in 2001, I believe, in a car accident when she was 27 years old, I believe, if anyone cares. Anywho, Mighty Morphin, it was the precedent that, it was Power Rangers, it was coming to America. Pretty much the whole story of Power Rangers started here, which the idea is you have this evil force that comes out of nowhere, and then you have the Guardian of Earth, so to speak, in Zordon, and his goal or his job is to ensure Earth's protection. So when this evil force was let loose, who was named Rita Repulsa, and soon to be also Lord Zed, came to be, his job was to find someone or a group of people that could protect Earth. And they were the Power Rangers. And he set out this order for Alpha, his companion, who was a robot, to find these 5 people who would protect the Earth and serve as the Power Rangers. And the first 5 that he selected were Jason, Zach, Billy, Trini, and Kimberly. And these 5 kids who were teenagers, they went to high school. It would be their job to protect Earth from its monsters, but although protecting Earth was pretty much just protecting Angel Grove City, which is where the whole story took place. I'm not going to get as far into it as what they did occasionally. This is just kind of a brief overview of the series of Mighty Morphin. This one, like I said, it might take an extra video to get all through it, because Mighty Morphin aired from 1993 to 1995. There were 3 seasons in total, and it was the only series of Power Rangers to this point that has gotten 3 seasons. So anyway, the Power Rangers, they didn't see the addition of another Power Ranger until I think it was either a 4 or 5 part miniseries called Green with Evil. And this is where, in my opinion, the best Power Ranger comes in that there ever was, and probably the most popular to most people. And that is Jason David Frank, who is known as Tommy, or Tommy Oliver, or Dr. Oliver, as he's known later down the road. But we'll get there. So anyway, Jason David Frank comes in, or Tommy comes in, and he is chosen by Rita Repulsa, who Rita had 1 power coin to give to somebody to become an evil ranger, so to speak. So she finds this guy, Tommy, who you see in the early part of this 5-part miniseries inside, I believe it's season 1, that he is an extremely talented martial artist, and which is not put on. Keep in mind, Tommy, outside of Power Rangers, Jason David Frank is an extremely talented martial artist. This is a guy who's even fought in MMA, and he teaches mixed martial arts. So he is an extremely talented martial artist, which is why a lot of people believe that Jason David Frank, Tommy, was the most popular Power Ranger, because he actually knew martial arts and he was extremely good at it. So anyway, we see Tommy come to the picture. He becomes the evil Green Ranger, who is also probably Tommy's most popular Ranger, or one of the two. So anyway, Tommy, he has this long feud with the Power Rangers. Even at one point destroys Zordon and makes it to where he can't communicate with Earth, and it's thought that Zordon is destroyed. But after this 5-part miniseries happens, Tommy is defeated by the 5 Power Rangers, and the evil force that was within him has gone away, but he still has the power coin of the Green Rangers. So he makes the commitment to join the other Rangers to protect the Earth. So he then becomes a good guy, and that's where we see that very, very memorable morphing sequence at the end, where all 6 of them morph and they pose at the very end. I'll put a link in the description for that if that'd be something you'd be interested in seeing. I'll probably put another link in there for something special if I can find it that'll help just kind of summarize everything I could looked at, or maybe a favorite clip of the show or something like that, just to kind of prove my point. But anyway, okay, next I'm going to talk about a couple fill-ins. By fill-ins, I mean Rangers that come in and replace current ones. About Season 2, a couple things change. Number one, Tommy loses the Green Ranger power. I'm not going to go into why. If you're that interested, if you have Netflix, the entire series of Power Rangers is on Netflix, or it's probably on the internet somewhere. But Tommy loses the Green Ranger power. The Green Power Ranger technically dies. And Tommy quietly leaves the show. And the reason for this was Jason David Frank was going to be going to another show. If you were young around this time, you've probably heard of the show VR Troopers. Jason David Frank was going to go over and be on VR Troopers, and one of the guys that was on VR Troopers was going to come over to Power Rangers, and he was going to become the new White Ranger, which eventually we saw Tommy become. Now, the funny thing here is, when Jason David Frank left Power Rangers, he received a message from somebody that people had wrote into Saban and said their kids weren't eating, they were doing terrible in school, they were depressed, they were sad that Tommy had left the Power Rangers. So Jason David Frank felt guilty and returned, which he said was the best decision he's ever made. He returned to Saban, and he continued on as the White Ranger, as he soon would become. Now, as we get more into Season 2, we find that some of the Rangers are going to be exiting, and the reason for the exit, for a long time, was never released. It was said that, well, there were a lot of things said. I'm not going to, if you want to read more about that, you can read a lot of the rumors for yourself, but a lot of the things that were said were not true. The truth was 3 Rangers, Austin St. John, Jason, Walter Jones, Zach, and, gosh, I hate saying this name, Toy Trang Trini, were having contractual obligations and problems and monetary issues with Saban. They felt like they weren't getting paid enough, and the contract was just not as good as it should have been. So the 3 of them left Power Rangers. And but for the story in the show, the 3 of them were selected from their school to attend a peace conference, and they went away. Well, since they're obviously going away, they can't be Power Rangers anymore. So they find 3 new people to assume the roles of the Red, Black, and Yellow Ranger. So that's where Steve Cardenas, Rocky, Johnny Bosch, Adam, and Karen Ashley, Aisha come into the picture. And the 3 of them take the new roles as Rocky the Red Ranger, Adam the Black Ranger, and Aisha the Yellow Ranger. So these 3 come in, they assume the role of the Power Rangers, and they go through all of Season 2 and complete it that way. And at the end of season 2, we're about into mid 1994, 1995. Something happened that I remember to this day, and that was the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie was created. And I'm here to tell you that this is probably still one of my favorite movies. And it's because, guys, keep in mind, back in 1995, there wasn't a whole lot of money to be spent in movies. Hollywood was nowhere near as big as it was today in 2013. And the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movie had a budget of $15 million. Now, guys, that is not that much when you think about all the movies that you've seen. I guarantee you, think of one of your favorite movies that is very popular. Their budget will be much higher than $15 million. This movie was filmed in Australia and New Zealand, and when it was released, guys, in the box office and just in America, it hit over $38 million and $66 million worldwide. So, the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movie was extremely successful, and if you have not seen it and you were a fan back then, I do urge you to go back and watch it just for memories. It, too, is also on Netflix, I believe. Pretty much the only other thing that needs mentioning, I guess I am going to get through this in one video, is in Season 3 we saw one more change, unfortunately. We saw, and when I say unfortunately, it's because that my favorite Girl Ranger had to leave. And Kimberly just left Power Rangers, or Amy Jo Johnson left Power Rangers, Saban, to pursue other things. She felt that her career as a Power Ranger was over, and she wanted to pursue other things in her life: music, modeling, acting. You might have seen Amy Jo Johnson on shows such as Flashpoint. She did a big stay on that show and did amazing, by the way. So we saw a fill-in. Her name is Catherine Sutherland. That was originally portrayed as a minion to Rita Repulsa, and eventually is turned good. And when Kimberly leaves the show, she gives the pink Power Ranger coin to Catherine, and Catherine, stays on as the Pink Ranger through the rest of the season. Pretty much the storyline is at the end of Mighty Morphin, the Power Rangers, the command center where they go and talk to Zordon and get their missions and get the information for how to protect Earth, is destroyed, and their powers are destroyed. And that's the first 3 seasons of Power Rangers. And that's Mighty Morphin. So anyway, guys, this is, like I said, this is the first part. I'm going to continue to do these until I get all the way through. So if you are a Power Ranger fan, I hope you'll watch them. If you watch this and you're a fan of Power Rangers, please, in the comment section below, tell me something that you liked about Mighty Morphin. Tell me what your favorite thing was. Tell me your favorite Power Ranger. Tell me your favorite memory. Do you still like Power Rangers to this day? Did you watch it as a kid? Did you not watch it as a kid? Just tell me something regarding to this video. Please give me a thumbs up for the video. It would be greatly appreciated as I continue to go through all the seasons. Keep in mind, guys, there are quite a few seasons of Power Rangers, so this will take a while. I hope you enjoy them. Tell me in the comment section below also if you think I'm doing a good job on it. It would really really be nice to get some feedback. Tell me if I left out anything. I tried to cover everything that Power Rangers, at least the first season of Mighty Morphin, brought us. So comment, rate, subscribe, all that stuff. Thumbs up the video for me. Leave something in the comment section for me, and I hope you look forward to the next one, which I will be covering Power Rangers Zeo. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.